What's going on, guys? I'm going to be doing some bridge fishing, and what I want to talk about is my jig presentation. And you can watch in this this clip where how steady I'm holding my rod and making sure I have control of my jig, and it's just not, I'm not just slinging it everywhere, and how I work it with the movement of the boat to get the fish to bite. As you watch the video that I got here, watch the different presentations that I'm going to have. Some are going to be just swimming, and then some is going to be hitting the bottom and swimming straight up, and some are going to be swimming to the right, to the left, and some will be just letting the drift of the kayak, letting it control, and then some is going to be bouncing around. But one that's really effective on bridges is hitting the bottom and then swimming up. And sometimes it's not a really slow swim up, it's a pretty fast swim up. Just depends on what the fish like that day. One thing I see a lot of people fishing underneath the bridge make a mistake is they allow their boat or kayak make contact with the pylons. You don't want to do that. You don't want any extra noise. You don't want something to make the fish be aware that something's going on above them. So watch how I'm working this jig. So I had it at one depth, and then I brought it up a little higher, and I kept swimming it at the looked like maybe 3 or 4 feet higher, and then the fish struck it. So that's when you're not sure about what depth they're gonna want, then you can swim it at one depth and then raise it up higher and swim it at another depth without cranking on the reel. And then that way, if you don't crank on the reel, then you can go back down to the depth you were at. Okay, check out this presentation. So I'm on the bottom. I touched the bottom, and I'm getting ready to start reeling up on it. So I'm coming up, and I'm coming up pretty fast. Not crazy fast, but pretty good clip. And then I stop, and I'm waiting to see if something was chasing it and give him a chance to catch up with it. This little fish I catch this time, it's just basically a reaction strike. He's seeing something coming past him pretty quick, and he just reacts to it and strikes. Then he take a look at what it is, just reacts to it and strike it. And a lot of times you can catch the big ones like that. You can catch them off guard, and they'll see something, and then boom, they'll hit it. And that's what you want. You want the big ones to hit. Okay, this water is pretty deep, so that thumping that I'm doing is basically I'm working the jig down to the bottom. But what my plan is that as soon as I make contact with the bottom, and I'm going to tighten up my line and reel it real quick. So what the fish is seeing is this something going by them, hitting the bottom, and then shooting back up from the bottom. And a lot of times it's just another reaction strike, and And what you're trying to do is you're trying to trick the big ones to react real fast and hit it. I mean, you're gonna catch some small ones like this, but sometimes you can catch big ones like that too. Don't let it bump. Don't let it bump. Even a little bump like that can spook the fish. One thing I noticed that underneath the bridge, where the bridge is closer to the water, it seemed to hold more fish. I don't know if it has something to do with the shade being darker, or is it maybe the water temperature when the bridge is closer to the water, and the water temperature may be different. I know the surface temperature is the same, but you know, underneath the surface, the water temperature is actually cooler. But one thing for sure, I think the shade is darker because it's closer, so it's a lot darker. But the other thing is, as the summer moves forward and the temperature gets hotter, and you know, a lot of people are going to fish underneath the bridge for crappie. So you got to work on your presentation and make that presentation very good, so that you won't just be catching a lot of small crappie. You'll catch you'll catch you some keepers, and you know, it's nothing like eating crappie. So if you like my content, please subscribe, and you know, for sure, take your kayak out and get bent. Life is good when you're getting bent, so go out there and get bent, guys.